Mario, we discuss the Roman Catholic Church. What is your opinion on this subject?
Hi Robert, Happy New Year, and we are opening this year with so burdened and heavy subject like a Roman Catholic Church. So I would like to hear your opinion because I am afraid that I'm quite critical of that institution. So let you have a first word about that mastodont of institution.
Oh, so we continue our tradition of non-controversial topics.
Exactly.
Okay. Right. So, as I mentioned in our introductory video, I was born and raised Roman Catholic, which means I had a Roman Catholic baptism and First Communion. So, when I look at the Roman Catholic Church, the first thing which is obvious to me is that it is a social club. So it is a social club. And like any social club, the Roman Catholic Church gives you certain benefits. So you have friends, you meet partners, business partners, potential marriage partners, you have a sense of community. You do have certain benefits in that social club. Because I left this social club, I want to explain a few reasons why I did so, and I will try my best to explain it. So the first reason why I left the Roman Catholic Church is anti-Semitism, the anti-Jewish nature of the Roman Catholic Church. When the Emperor Constantine became a Christian in the 4th century CE, and installed Christianity as the state religion of the Roman Empire, Jewish people became a primary target of persecution by the Church. Using the New Testament as its authoritative source, the Church has stereotyped the Jewish people as an icon of unredeemed humanity. They became an image of a blind, stubborn, carnal, and perverse people. This dehumanization is the vehicle that formed the psychological prerequisite to the atrocities that followed. Now, I want to mention lectionaries, which are collections of scriptural passages from Christian Bibles that are read during regular weekly Catholic Church services and which are repeated on some cyclical schedule. As such, these lectionaries are widely used by many millions of church-going Christians, and they are somewhat similar to Jewish prayer books, such as a Siddur. Now, the Roman Catholic lectionary for Mass contains 23 selections that are blatantly anti-Jewish. For example, the Pharisees and Sadducees are called poisonous snakes. The Pharisees are called hypocrites. There is a condemnation of the Pharisees for rejecting the commandments. The Pharisees are said to be hard-hearted. The Pharisees and other Jews are condemned as guilty. The Jews are said to be thieves and robbers. In one place, Peter tells the men of Israel that they killed the originator of life. So obviously, if someone accuses you of killing the originator of life, you will not be the most popular guy in high school, right?
Definitely.
So that's my first reason for leaving the Roman Catholic Church. The second reason is it is an idolatrous organization. Using the knowledge I have now and using the religious perspective I have now, I believe that worshiping a person is idolatry. It doesn't matter to me if he is smart, if he does magic tricks, if he is really, good looking. Every person has limitations. Every person is limited by a human body, so worshiping a person is idolatry. The third reason is the hypocritical nature of the Roman Catholic Church. Specifically, the Roman Catholic Church accuses Jews for rejecting the commandments, when in fact traditional Christian doctrine is the one which rejects the continuing obligation to observe all of the Torah's eternal divine commandments as such, both those which are for Jews and those which are for Gentiles. So they literally accuse Jews of doing the exact same thing which they do. And the fourth reason why I left the Roman Catholic Church is because I believe it is a foreign anti-Croat organization. Because I'm Croatian, I very often hear the argument that I'm often accused of betraying the Croatian people because I left the Roman Catholic Church, as if the Catholic identity is synonymous with the Croatian identity. It's not. If you read the Croatian etymological dictionary, they will tell you that the ethnonym Croat is actually inherited from Proto-Slavic times, and during Proto-Slavic times, Croats that were not Catholics. They worshipped Slavic gods like Perun and Veles, right? So those two things are not synonymous. What do I mean that it is a foreign anti-Croat organization? Specifically, a Roman Catholic Venice tried to conquer Croatia throughout history and failed. So this was an effort which lasted for centuries. And even to this day, Roman Catholic Italians claim that Croatia belongs to Italy since it was part of the Roman Empire. Of course, this is a ludicrous argument. And in Torah law, the land which a valid king conquered in any type of war is fully considered to be his acquisition. In other words, Croatia's modern borders are a result of the homeland war. Because we conquered every centimeter of the land, it does belong to us in the eyes of God. So this is a completely ridiculous argument, but it is an argument which I hear from time to time, even today from Italians, right? And because I'm Croatian, I cannot support an organization which actively hates my people and actively promotes something which is not in its interest. So that those are my experiences and reasons with the Roman Catholic Church.
Yes, that's interesting. I believe. I didn't go that way in criticizing Roman Catholic Church. My thoughts. I was also raised as a Christian, and actually I lost for me Catholic Church lost its trustworthiness over time, how I was growing up and later in my adult life. I've seen many hypocrisy, so much hypocrisy as you said by yourself, in many deeds which actually were showing the opposite things that what clergy and parts of that social club, as you said, talked about. So I would rather go one step further. I would not call Roman Catholic Church the social club. I would rather tell or say they are a cult more than a social club. I think that's quite mild, surprisingly, to hear such a mild characterization from...
A euphemism.
Euphemism, yes. So over time, I was actually all that things we didn't match or mismatch between the words and the deeds. And of course, when I was studying, it was also known that Catholic Church was heavily involved in different businesses through the bank and investing in some immoral things like companies that produced arms and such things. So actually all those things show me that they don't keep up with their words or their beliefs. Moreover, later, over the time, I've seen more and more that the Catholic Church was a religion shaped in a system to keep the clergy and interest groups on top and protect the interests of influential people. Many of them privatized Catholic Church and their influence over masses to get their private interests in either in some business or politics. So that's also proved in many wars where a Catholic Church took some side in the war, no matter how some of the clerics maybe helped the suppressed actually, and some other, like a pope maybe, side with oppressors. So there were many scandals which I was actually get used to here, and all of them actually show me that something is wrong with that beliefs and that religion. And I started to understand that churches, all churches all around the world, not just Catholic Church, but specifically Catholic Church, plays like a role, like a guardians of truth, whatever that is, that truth. Later on, when I was studying Bart Ehrman, who was kind of, he had eye-opener videos for me. I've seen that truth also is not always the historical truth, but it was rooted in theology, which was maybe rooted in some other interest than historical truth. So the improvements of their teaching, critical thinking, changes in the doctrine, and all developments were made usually from outsiders, not from inside of the church. So that doctrine evolved only by resistance of some other people and maybe under pressure of social norms and social development. So to the point, what is the point of the church as a source of so-called source of truth if their teachings are not actually the way of enlightenment, but the way of guarding their truth and keeping them into power? For me, that revelation was kind of significant, because I started to connect them with political parties, and actually which were kind of way how societies work. So the church lost their its kind of how to say holiness, let's say holiness, which I was like thinking of church when I was kid. So they lost that holiness, and then I started to rethink of purpose of church and their doctrine of saints and all that things which actually ruined the view I had, the view of church I had when I was kid. And in the end, all the churches which put their doctrine in our minds when we were children are actually a little bit become a little bit constrained in our adult life. It's like a helicopter parents,
Uh-huh.
They never let you go to explore religious beliefs and build your religion from inside, right? They are just imposing their truth and their religion on you, like helicopter parents. They never allow you to live your life. So even maybe initial idea that you get some initial moral values when you are a kid should stop over time and should give you just the basic truth, if it's even truth, of course, But later in life, I believe all churches and religious beliefs and doctrines should be more effective, or could be more effective if they allow the person to start developing their own beliefs based on teachings that person acquired when it was that person was a kid. So Catholic Church lost its meaning of Western beacon for morality, because I've seen many betrayals of that moral values over time, in terms of chastity, violence, peacefulness, and so on. So that's my view on Catholic Church. I proudly declare that I just have one step more to discharge myself from that social club or cult, whatever you call it. So that's the last step I will make to part my way with that organization, if I can say so.
I'm not sure that's actually possible in practice, because the Roman Catholic Church has its own archives, and they won't allow you to, they won't allow you to mess with their own records just because you want to leave them. So I'm not sure if that's actually possible.
I already asked my how you call it, local, not bishop, but like župnik, how you call it, like pastor,
parishioner maybe, or something.
Parishioner, yes.
Okay.
And he was after he survived the shock. Probably nobody had asked him that, or maybe even I was first. I'm not sure. And he told me there is a process, but I just needed a little bit time to follow that process, and I will even draw any weapon I can find, even in legal terms, to part my way and proudly leave that organization, because I cannot.
I remember. I still receive. My family still receives letters from the Roman Catholic Church notifying us when the priest will come to bless our home, right?
Okay.
And I told my mother that we should let them know that we no longer want to receive their notifications. However, my mother claimed that it's actually useful to know when they come, so we can avoid them, right? So she believes this is a better way, but I have to disagree, because at least once I had a situation where I had a business meeting, and at the exact same time when I expected a business partner to come to my office, I opened the door and I saw the Roman Catholic priest.
Oh my God.
And so he literally came on the exact same time when I expected my business partner. And I asked the guy, "What are you doing here? Who let you into the building? What's up with this? You're not my partner. Leave." So I was really surprised. And then he told me that they sent notifications that they would be coming. So why am I surprised? Because they informed us, right?
Mm.
And after that event, I told my mother, please let them know that we no longer want to receive it, because I don't wish to repeat that kind of experience again.
I have always seen that blessings like a money grab, it's ridiculous. But yeah.
I also wanted to add another thing. You mentioned parents, and I remember when I was in elementary school, I had two friends whose mother did not allow them to go to church until they were 18. So she claimed that when they become adults, they can, if they want to go to religious studies, they can. If they want to go to church, they can. But while they were minors, she did not allow them to go to church because she believed that was a form of brainwash, right? So she actively forbade them from going to church until they were 18. So that was one approach which I remember from my elementary school days.
That is remarkable because I've never heard about that mother, that kind of mother. That's quite insightful, you know. Yeah, I mean, you know, I part my way with religions in total, and I've never been more calm and happy than now, and especially when I live in the society who has which has installed cultural norms without so heavy religious influence or influence of religion. And since they are Buddhists, they don't believe in God or something like that, but they keep tradition in the way that even when I ask them, my co-workers, why they are leaving today in rush, let's say the office, sometimes that happens, not specifically today, they told me they need to go, they prepare today because some Buddhist holiday, and they need to go to do some merits, but they are not they don't seem like a forced to do that. They go like a, you know, light-footed. They go there and enjoy doing some merits. They prepare some cookies. They give water to some clergy there and Buddhist monks, and they do that with full heart, you know, doing good things to other people. So for me, that is more real and more truthful than just some, you know, religious ceremonies we had, and you were probably also exposed to when we were kids. So that's.
I'm glad you mentioned that because it ties in with my question. And I have a question for you, and that would be: do you think that your life would have been easier if you remained part of the Roman Catholic Church?
In what way easier?
Well, let's say easier in terms of friends, marriage partners, business partners, communities, social events.
No, I would be deprived from this experience in Far East, you know, and exposures to this mild culture of East Asia, you know. If I was so connected and stayed connected with my friends and so narrow-minded to follow just that kind of, you know, mindset, and I believe that I would of course never choose and maybe partners in life or wife or my partner outside of Christian church, you know, which I believe would a big mistake. And I feel better now because no matter I see that my friends are a little bit giving up of me, which is okay, that's normal. I just consider this as a new step in my staircase of my life. So I would be deprived of these experiences if I was stuck in that culture. Although some of my friends who were connected with Catholic Church, quietly tight connected, they offered me help from Catholic Church to develop some businesses and so on. So even material help. But I told them, yeah, okay, why not? That's a business. But they said, oh, but we cannot help you if you are like walking the other side. So that was kind of blackmail, you know. And at that moment, I mean, it was kind of a revelation for me, you know, because so you judge me by my beliefs. You don't judge me by the person who I am, who I was, or whatever, because I haven't changed in bad way. I'm more calm and more connected with myself. I have bigger tolerance than before, and I can understand people. I can forget people very easily if they do some things which I don't like, and so I consider myself a better human being than if I stayed there in Europe. So if that answers your question, I'm not sure, but definitely I feel better now, no matter if I maybe lost some friends in that classic Western way. That's their choice, not mine.
I think personally that my life perhaps would have been easier if I remained part of the Roman Catholic Church, but I also think that every person has to decide regarding their preference. What is the most important thing in your life? Is truth more important, or is it your convenience and your easiness of living? Right. So
Definitely.
I think that is a decision which every person has to make, regardless of how hard or easy life is.
I believe that what you said as well, integrity is very important for me, you know. If I think about religion something, if I suspect that things are not that way, and I still follow or I'm still a part of that religion, that ruins my integrity, you know. So I was conflicted many times when I was reading how things in New Testament were not so original like we were taught to believe. So when I started to read historical things and listen to Bart Ehrman, as I said, biblical scholar, and all that things and discrepancies in Bible and St. John's translation and all those things which contradict some things I was learning when I was young, all of that actually cracked my belief in the way that I cannot be blind, because now when I knew, you know, at that time when I got some new knowledge and insight, I couldn't play the blind man and just say, yeah, okay, I still believe. That's not integrity. And for me, being integral person, integrated person, from emotions, thoughts, my deeds, my everyday, my smile is always coming from me. My I don't know, anger is always coming from me. It's never playing the personal thing just to please other people, which religious people often do, you know, to get some benefits. So yeah,
my last question for you is, if
you mean last for today?
Yes. My last question for you is, if you had to point out the absolute best thing about the Roman Catholic Church, what would that be?
The absolute best?
Yes. So what is the best thing about the Roman Catholic Church, in your opinion?
The best for me, or best in general?
The best, however you wish to answer it.
Yeah, I cannot think of general best, the best thing in general, because I've seen so many bad things that what I can see in my personal, so this is my personal opinion, what is the best thing is to be the conflicted religion, easy to debunk, to be debunked, and open my eyes to other explorations. That's the best thing.
Well, my answer would be the nuns. My answer would be the nuns. I think that. Okay. No, it's a sincere answer. It's not meant to be comical. Okay. I think the best thing is the nuns, and specifically, I mean the way they dress. So their dressing style is extremely modest, and Judaism as a religion stresses female modesty a lot. So Judaism obligates women to dress and behave modestly, and I believe that Roman Catholic nuns dress extremely modestly, And if I ever have a wife, I would be very happy if she dressed like Catholic nuns.
Yeah, I mean, that could open now totally new dimension of our discussion. I totally agree with you. Since I live in Thailand, I see lots of lesser dressed beautiful girls and women, but I cannot stress enough that their behavior is not as open as their dress is. So even they are dressed maybe a little bit not like nuns, in contrary, more like not nuns. Their behavior, their look, their kindness and softness is really remarkable. So I can tell only that it's not all about dress, but I understand your point and I totally agree with you. Although when you go from the human being and the center, that integrity from human being, I've met so many beautiful human beings here in Thailand who are not even, they don't know even who Jesus was. So actually they are really ignorant, but they are really beautiful human being and very sincere and easy to talk to, very tolerant, with beautiful smiles. So I've seen the human beauty from another thing, not just from that modesty, which is maybe not sincere. But that's just my opinion. I mean, I definitely see where your the best of Catholic Church is coming from.
Okay, Mario, thank you for today.
Thank you too. I believe we made some critical thoughts or critical episode for today, for opening this new year.
Yes, this new year has already been crazy, so I hope that it will, it will normalize as we continue our next episodes.
Definitely.
We are Godless Judaism.
We discuss atheism, religion, and everything else.